So we have a couple of trailer reactions that I have to do for you guys, and one of which is Blue Beetle. Now, Blue Beetle is going to be a new movie coming out from DC Studios, and this is a movie that is from the previous regime. I want to make this very clear. This is a Hamada movie. This is not a James Gunn movie, but it's very interesting how it seemed to showcase the direction that Walter Hamada was going with his movies. Now, guys, keep in mind with this trailer reaction when you watch it, a couple things. Number one, obviously, I'm going to have to pause it often to avoid copyright. Number two, this movie was actually not supposed to be a movie. This movie was made during this premise where they were going to release a bunch of films for streaming only. So this is not supposed to have a theatrical release, which is why it doesn't look as good as it could have, considering that it honestly, if it had a theatrical release, it would have had a bigger budget, and it did gain a bigger budget when it did become a movie theater movie, but ultimately it was supposed to be a streaming movie, so they tried to recover as much as they possibly could, but it really just it's not going to have that kind of flair, guys. It's not going to be that kind of movie that really should have been in the theater. So with that being said, guys, of course, before I get into the trailer reaction, consider giving this video a like, man. I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to fight the YouTube suppression that we are facing every single day, and when you guys like the videos, it really does help. We experimented with it yesterday, and it did help the views a lot and getting the videos out there, even though they were still suppressed for the most part. It does help, so consider giving this video a like. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna have to pause this quite often, but we're gonna play a couple of clips here and there and go from there. Here we go.
Excuse me, Mr. Reyes? You finished scraping the gum off that lounger or what?
So right off the bat, when I saw this trailer, I immediately thought of Spider-Man. I don't know why. I just did. Like, it's giving me the vibe, and I know what it's going for. It's going for the teenage superhero movie kind of S style, right? And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. But again, it's gonna have a very similar formula. Now, the funny thing to me, and I mentioned this in my chat for Saturday Night Hypnosis, was that it's very ironic that this movie, even though it's not a James Gunn movie, who is the person who I would have imagined to have influence over the overall direction of the movies, considering this is a Hamada movie, it damn sure has a Marvel feel to it. Like when you watch this trailer, it's going to showcase a lot of typical BS superhero comedy. Like I don't know why we can't have superhero movies or TV shows that take themselves seriously. Everything has to be a joke, and you're gonna get that vibe from this trailer. Let's keep going.
Everything right now feels so out of reach.
You always land on your feet, bro. You're Jaime.
So I'm happy to see that a lot of people are saying that the overall CGI of this movie is pretty bad. I would call it average. I really would. I would call it definitely mid. I really don't feel like it's terrible, and I don't feel like it's great either. I mean, when people say terrible CGI, I immediately think of She-Hulk. So that's pretty much my comparison whenever someone says terrible CGI. And this movie so far is not it.
Jenny?
Guard that with your life, but do not open.
Now, I know this kid did very well in Cobra Kai. I'm interested to see how he does with a full-on theatrical movie, especially one like Blue Beetle. But the funny thing is, I wonder if they're going to keep him in the future, because if I'm not mistaken, Blue Beetle is an Elseworld story at this point. It's the old regime, so it's not going to be part of the DCU, I believe anyway, but I could be wrong, but that's my understanding of it.
To get us jobs, and all you brought back was a hamburger?
Okay, I don't think it's a burger.
You haven't looked?
What the hell is that?
Again, with the silly comedy, it's just a teenage superhero movie. I'm definitely getting Marvel vibes from this, and again, it's interesting because this is a Hamada movie. I would have expected this from James Gunn, and to be honest, I do expect this from James Gunn. I think that James Gunn is going to give you a typical Marvel formula within the DC universe. I fully expect that. But again, considering this was Hamada, I don't know if they changed anything necessarily, but if they did, I would not be surprised.
I think he likes me.
I'm honestly not surprised to see George Lopez in this movie at all. I'm just saying that randomly, but I'm not surprised.
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want.
Now, one thing I will say is that the Blue Beetle transformation, at least according to the trailer anyway, which unfortunately showcases all of it, I wish they would have kept some of that for the actual movie. But of course, DC sure loves to jump the gun and show you everything ASAP. The Blue Beetle transformation is pretty cool. And the Blue Beetle transformation is very brutal, and I like that. It showcases just how vicious the overall transformation was for before Blue Beetle. So I like that. I like that they actually showcased that and showed how brutal it was. And again, it leads to a good payoff, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people were complaining about the suit, so let's look at the suit and see what people are saying.
What the?
Host acquired.
Who said that? It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
So I think that I don't know what necessarily Hamada was going for. I don't know if he was going for an Iron Man-esque type feel. I don't know if he was going for a Spider-Man No Way Home style feel. There's a little bit a mix of both, to be honest with you, because you can confuse this very easily with the Mecha Spider-Man suit that he got in the Avengers movies. But again, I'm seeing a lot of influence in the overall formula for the superhero genre that Marvel has unfortunately had their way with. And you see it here. You see it in this particular trailer. Now, again, Blue Beetle, the CGI, not that great. I would say it's definitely mid for sure. It's not the worst. I think this looks pretty good. Don't get me wrong. It definitely looks pretty good if you guys look at it overall. But the lighting, it seems very video game-ish. It's like if this was a video game, this would be good CGI, right? But considering that it's not a video game, it's mid CGI. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like movie CGI should be taken to the next level past the video game CGI capability. And I feel like this does not do that. This gives you definitely a video game style vibe.
Wait, no, no.
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want.
So again, it's pretty cool overall. I do like the concept, and this trailer would have been good if it wasn't for the ending of this trailer. And I'm sure you guys know exactly where I'm going with that. So let's see more of it. Let's check it out.
It's called the Scarab. It's some kind of world-destroying weapon. It's designed to protect its host.
This ain't what you want.
Now, this close-up shot right here just kind of showcases how bad the CGI actually is. Now, when I looked at this part, I started to think to myself, okay, this is definitely now getting to video game territory here. It's not that it's god-awfully terrible. It's just not great for a movie. But you have to keep in mind, guys, this movie was meant for streaming only. It was not meant for the big box, and it didn't have the budget initially to support it. And yeah, they might have did some touches here and there. They might have changed up some things, but it really wasn't meant for a theatrical release. So I can see and kind of excuse a little bit of the terrible CGI. It's not quite as bad as She-Hulk, so again, I can excuse it slightly, but it's still not that great. Like for a movie, especially a movie in today's modern day and age, there's really no excuse to have video game level graphics in your big box movie. Like we're kind of past that point, you know?
Sometimes it does what you want, and sometimes it doesn't.
I think I cut a bus in half.
Again, very Spider-Man No Way Home feeling.
Jared chose you, but it belongs to me.
Evil white woman. That's the first thing I thought when I saw this. I was like, all right, evil white woman. Hell yeah. Glad they're keeping up with that.
Hello, you feel for your family.
Of course, you got to have all the mijos together. It's good to see a movie. I could finally see myself. You know what I'm saying? My fellow Hispanic people. I could finally see myself in somebody here. I don't know who, but I'll pick somebody and claim representation.
Family makes you weak.
I just wanna rap.
Again, I'm getting very like Iron Man style vibes. I don't know if that's necessarily what they were going for with Blue Beetle for the DCU, at least the previous DCU. Again, not really sure. Do you find it interesting that Grandma over here is seemingly holding a gun that looks like a freaking Rubik's Cube? My animation is blocking it, but it's right behind to the right of George Lopez. They all seem to be holding weapons, and Grandma's got the biggest freaking gun of all, which is pretty funny. And then we got this final scene over here. Check this out.
Let's party.
Nice choice.
I just wanna rap.
So that was pretty cool. That was probably my favorite part of the trailer when he created the Claymore sword, and just I think that looks really, really cool, and I love seeing that concept. So this is something again that I would have loved to probably check out. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's something that seemed interesting, and I wish it was something that was staying within the new DCU. But of course, this is DC, right? This is the previous DC regime. And what got them in trouble was their identity politics that they loved doing, as well as rushing literally everything. Like they did not take their time with anything. And at the end of this trailer, they could not help themselves. Look at what they said at the end of this trailer. Check it out.
It's like Batman stuff.
Batman's a fascist.
Again, oh God, it's so cringy. It's so cringy. They literally had to call Batman a fascist. Like you just spent the entire trailer, which was not a bad trailer in my opinion. It was probably a little bit above average, and you just completely nuked it at the end because you decided to want to call Batman a fascist. Why? Because he's a rich white man. It's like, dude, why? Why did you do that? Why do you have to shoot yourself in the foot? There is no reason to do this, man. Like you made a good trailer and you shot it at the end. God, I hate you people, man. Like, why do you do this? So again, overall for me, I think I'm gonna skip this one. I really don't see a reason to watch it if it's not gonna be part of the new DCU lineup going forward. On top of the fact that they decided to want to call Batman one of my favorite characters a fascist. Why they decided to do that, I'm not really sure. But you guys can let me know what you think of the Blue Beetle trailer in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.